Yeah, so I'm Vikrant.
Yeah.
From Gisborne, born and bred here. I think I was going to be the fifth generation farmer, and then my grandparents closed down the farm. So um, um, I've lived here most of my life. I think I lived in Wellington for about 8 months. I tried that out. I came back up here. Didn't quite like it. And I've worked mostly in agriculture and horticulture kind of work. I love tech. It's just kind of a thing, a passion I kind of buried down and buried down. I thought, I won't revisit it. I'll just use it for gaming, or I'll just I'll kind of yeah, just use it to watch movies or whatever, and not really think about it. But when I was a teenager, I got into scripting and creating, automating games, making bots for games and stuff. So kind of that's how it started. I only really went for the social interaction. Like I wasn't too bothered on pursuing anything in uni. Like I didn't really think too much of what I was going to do after school, I guess. Yeah, I was working, like, I think when I was 14 and a half, maybe 15, like in factory work. So I started in the field, so I was like, oh, I'll just do that, you know. I didn't really think much of it. Yeah. So my grandparents own a farm, they still own it, on Tucker Road, and it was a dairy milking farm for I think 125 years or something like that. Yeah, 120, something like that. Yeah, it closed down anyway. It was in the newspaper. Yeah, I used to get up with my dad every now and then, and go milk the cows and stuff. So
Cool.
yeah. No, well, no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't do it, but
Yeah.
I do. I do have, like, my great grandmother was half Maori
Oh, yeah.
and half Israeli, half Jewish. So
And where did they live? They live here.
yeah, she moved back. Yeah,
Oh, she's from here.
The great grandmother.
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That she's from here. Yeah. It was from, I think, I can't remember. I can't remember the story, so I can't quote it. But yeah, it's a bit of a story there.
She
It's half Maori.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's get back on the kaupapa. Talking about Dev Academy course. Tell us about the Dev Academy course, Claire.
Oh yeah, so that was actually really good. For now, working at Snapper in Wellington for, I think it's about 8 months now. A really good kind of, like a boot camp. Like what it said it was, boot camp just kind of introduced me to these ideas and get me started and kind of feel comfortable with a few things, especially comfortable learning learning coding and learning on a computer, which is like very different. It was very different for me because it was quite hands-on, and I can just to learn by reading and watching people was like quite a good thing that Dev Academy really helped me with. Yeah, I mean, if you could probably, you could go from not knowing anything to definitely knowing something afterwards. I believe, but yeah, I would say it was hard just to stick in just towards the end there. After just it was like just doing it every day, doing something coding related. But yeah, I would say it was like a medium to hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did have some challenges, but it was good overall. Yeah, kind of like the engineering side of me, I guess. Just the curious side of me of just wanting to know how things work. And when I saw a computer, I think when I was like 8 years old, my mum bought like this like compact computer. I think it ran Windows 98 or 95. I can't remember. And I was like, wow, how does this work? It showed this thing on the screen, and they got me all interested when I was a kid. So I guess ever since then, I've just had an interest in them. It's a tech company in Wellington. I think it's 5 companies. It's actually 5 companies altogether. But the site that I work on and the one that's in Wellington, they provide a ticketing service, so that you can use what they call a snapper card down there. You can just tag on to a bus and pay your bus fares with a card instead of buying a clip-on ticket, which was, I think, pretty slow. I remember hearing people saying it was like really, really slow. So that sped everything up for Wellington Transport. And over in Ireland, they built a whole new system, but kind of based on what they did in Wellington, and but they included ferries. I think ferries in Ireland. So, but yeah, it's the same thing. They have a card. Their card is called Leap, and they top the card up and they pay with their ferries. I think their trains got I can't remember that. I think they got trains over there, and bus fares. The others are data analytics and other things. So on a day-to-day basis, we get kind of assignments. I guess that would be like assignments, or thinking agile wise. But yeah, I get assignments given to me at like the start of the day that I would have to do, and if I'm doing something that might take weeks, I just continue doing that. So just basically upgrading the current systems that they have, and kind of moving it towards, instead of being, because it's very manual at the moment, to being more automated. So it can only be like basically one guy that can just keep just go every now and then and just have a look how everything's going. So it's just fully automating everything instead of being like manual. Yeah, it's pretty manual.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I'm learning all the time. I'm learning all the time. Absolutely. So at the start it was quite overwhelming. There's a lot of new things I had to learn, like what AWS was, the services that they use, and what Snapper used. And it was Snapper used in AWS, but I'm learning all the time. Yeah. Yeah, so same before, absolutely. Just learning from reading, like actually able to read and interpret what they're saying online. There's actually quite a few good courses that I'm doing online with computer coding. So I wouldn't be able to read that or understand that if I did do Dev Academy, or did have some type of background beforehand. Otherwise, I'd be lost. I wouldn't know where to start learning, especially learning a new language. So, yeah. Yeah, so just even starting off, but I don't think I've ever earned the amount that I'm earning now, just starting off. Like, yeah, you would have you would have to work like probably like 4 or 5 years to even start earning what I'm earning right now as an intern. So yeah, it's absolutely worth it, and it's free in a sense, financial freedom. Yeah. So that oh wow, that goes up significantly higher. I think after 3 years, you could definitely increase. I think you could maybe get a 50% or maybe a 70% maybe. In 3 years, it depends how you go. 3.5 years of just being in coding, software development. So yeah, and then from then being a senior developer, everyone wants a senior developer. So you it just goes up and up. I think I don't know what the ceiling is, but yeah. Yeah, so in Dev Academy, I think they talk about they talk about full stack development, and they're basically doing everything yourself, deploying your code, um, also building your code. So going going into a tech company, I learned that these things are done separately, and there are different teams doing them. They have cybersecurity teams, they have DevOps teams, they have database teams. Um, Everything's kind of more separated out. I'm not too sure how to put it, but they have their own individual groups, and you kind of lean on each other as a team. So, which is interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of you can go, and you can move as well. You can go from where you are, like as a software developer, and move into like DevOps or something if you wanted to. And train in that, or you could go into databases if you like databases, or there's a lot of things. Yeah, cool stuff.
Did you ever think you could do this from little old Gisborne, Tairawhiti?
Nah. No, I didn't. No, yeah, until I saw the ad in the paper. Until I saw it was. I think this was here. You take care was on the paper, and it said something about they done a course online, Dev Academy. My nana was actually telling me about it. Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I didn't know we had anything here. I was like, yeah, I thought I'd drop in eventually. I would say, have patience. Have patience with yourself, because, and you also, you have patience with yourself because you're going to feel like really overwhelmed at sometimes, and just kind of breathe and relax, and just take in little bits as you take in little bits at a time, you'll get there. You'll see yourself grow like year after year, or like month after month, and you won't realize it until you like look back. You're like, wow, I learned a whole heap. It's all captured, the knowledge that you learned. So yeah, there's nothing. Absolutely. Oh, especially for a few years. Yeah, no, it's a long-term gig or whatever. Yeah, for sure. And then I might span off and do something else, but it's going to be all in technology, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it is something different and life changing. Just the lifestyle is like totally different. You get treated like just being a factory worker. You get treated well sometimes, and just this is just speaking from one experience, I guess, one company, but it seems to be like yeah, everyone's really nice, and really patient, and understanding, because as they said, they were there once. So yeah, it's a really cool thing, and of course working from home too is awesome. You never come here and work from there, so yeah. I think it'll go. I think we are going towards automation or something like that. But I'm not too sure. I definitely don't think it's going to just go like the bubbles burst. Sure, there's going to be layoffs, but no, it's all part of us now. We've become connected to it, I guess. Yeah, so I know a couple of places have started to go with automating the quality control of the fruit. They've used computers to just, I think they're like little whackers to just whack the bad fruit off the table and stuff. So they've gone that way. I definitely think there are you could just fully, like, well, not fully, but mostly automate growing plants and like lettuces and all that. So that, and I've seen that done, which would be really cool to see. Yeah, you could definitely use tech. You definitely use tech. Yeah, it would be awesome to see if they could get into doing that.